NHL news, September 25th, 2018. I didn't shoot yesterday. I apologize. I was at work. Moving on. Scores for yesterday are New York Rangers 4, New Jersey Devils 3 in overtime. New York Rangers rookie Vinny Lettieri had the overtime winning goal as he tries to prove that he belongs. In 19 games last season, he only had 5 points, so we'll see how that goes. New Jersey sophomore Nico Hershiser had 1 goal and 1 assist, and Eddie Lack and Henrik Lundqvist were in net. Next up, the Boston Bruins beat the Philadelphia Flyers 4-3. Boston rookie ECHL goalie Dan Vladar had 34 of 37 saves in that game against mostly NHL players on a Flyer squad who scored 3 goals straight in the third period to make this an actual game. That'll be worth watching the highlights for sure. Then we have Montreal 5 over the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Meeples. They kind of played like Meeples last night, I tell you. The Maple Leafs were... the Montreal sophomore Charles Hudon had his 2nd goal of the preseason, and it was fabulous. With a capital F. It wasn't quite a Savardian spinorama, but it was like a half-breed. It was... Watch it. Toronto's 4th line was their first line last night, and even that line, the wingers were AHLers the year before, and the center was an SHLer. So, I'm not making any excuses for Toronto's lineup because they're all being AHLers, because there were a lot of them on the Canadiens as well, but Babcock clearly was disappointed in their performance. A lot of guys fighting for jobs didn't turn up. Garrett Sparks included in that, who's trying to fight for the backup position. He was a Calder Cup winning goalie last year, along with the rest of the Marlies. But he also won, the Goalie of the Year honors. So hopefully he gets another chance. I just hope they don't lose him on waivers for nothing. That would be such a shame. He's 25 years old. Curtis McElhinney, who had a great year last year, is 35. But, the conundrum continues. Moving forward, the Dallas Stars beat the Minnesota Wild 5-3. Dallas rookie left winger Rupe Hintz had a goal and assist. He had 20 goals in the AHL last season, so he could be a real surprise depth scorer for the Stars this coming year. Minnesota Calder candidate Jordan Greenway had an assist. Analysts are projecting him to have almost a 60-point season next year as a winger. So Wild fans are going to have their eyeballs stuck to this gentleman. Next up is Jets 5 over the Calgary Flames 4 in overtime. Jets left defense prospect Sami Niku he's NHL ready. He scored 2 goals. In the game he had 54 points in the AHL last season, and in his only NHL showcase last season he had a goal. If I'm a Winnipeg Jets fan, I'm just elated with the amount of prospects that keep piping through that system. It's unbelievable. Calgary Flames prospect Dylan Dube, who's just been racking up the points this preseason, had another assist last night. Just to give you a little context, in the WHL he had 84 points in 53 games. So he could crack this team coming season. Next up is LA 4 over the Vancouver Canucks 1, Los Angeles Kings, LA sophomore center Amadio had 2 assists, which is a promising thing, because in the 37 games in the NHL last season he only had 8 points. But however, in the AHL he was over a point per game player. Hopefully this will be his coming out season. Vancouver Canucks goalie Markstrom was a sieve. He didn't look good. Nielsen also isn't looking good. Are they going to keep Thatcher Demenko up or send him back to the AHL? I mean, Vancouver's got a really bright future. They've got a lot of great prospects, but it could be a few years before it all starts to pay off. The next is the Anaheim Ducks, 4 over the Arizona Coyotes 2. Ducks prospect center Sam Steele had a goal, and this is another player who's ready now. He's ready to go. He looks really good. Now, I know that the center line depth on the Ducks are as follows: Getzlaf, Henrique, Kessler, Rowney, who they picked up as a UFA this offseason. I see Sam Steele stepping in, I mean, if he isn't played on the wing, which could be the plan for Kessler, because Kessler, although he's starting to take contact now and it's promising, he's coming off a hip surgery at 34 years old. If Ducks don't look like they're going to make the playoffs, I don't see them playing Kessler, and you're going to see Sam Steele in there a whole lot more. Hip surgeries at that age, I don't know. Arizona Coyote winger Perlini had a goal, his second of the preseason. They're really hoping he turns into a depth forward sniper. And Dylan Strome had an assist as well, which is a good sign. He's been trying to crack the lineup for a couple seasons now. I think he'll be starting on the third line center. We'll see. And last but not least, the Colorado Avalanche 5 over the the Vegas Golden Knights 3. Colorado forward rookie Vladislav Kamenev had a goal, albeit I think it was an empty netter. I didn't watch the game, so will he make the squad? I don't know. I'd love to hear Colorado's fans' opinion on that. He was an asset who recovered in the Duchene trade, if you remember. In 3 games last year, he ended up breaking his arm, so he's had a bit of a rough start. We'll see what happens with him. Vegas Golden Knight fans will be ecstatic to hear that Max Pacioretty scored again. That's 3 goals in the preseason. He's looking good. He could be back to his 30-goal usual this coming season. So Vegas is going to have at least 2, maybe 3 really good lines. We'll see. In other news, more drama in Ottawa. The gift that just keeps on giving. The longest-serving Ottawa Senator, Zach Smith, was placed on waivers today, which is basically a salary dump because he's got 3 more years at $3.25 each. Eugene Melnick is like, if their name isn't Stone or Duchene, get rid of them. Save the money. Save the money. Boucher, the coach, was even shocked because he had him penned in as his second-line center to play opposite Tkachuk. And Smith is only like 2 years removed from about a 20-25 goal season. And he was really loved in that locker room. I mean, Duchene, on camera, said it was like a kick in the balls. He didn't mince words. And the other players who were interviewed just looked really disappointed and dejected. All the veterans who aren't Stone and Duchene are like, am I next? Yeah. By the end of the season, I don't expect Stone and Duchene to be there, especially Duchene. Stone's a little better at hiding his feelings, but, their first pick, as you probably know, is going to Colorado anyways, so although it looks like they're going to be the worst team in the league next year, it could surprise. I seriously doubt it, but... And Chris Tierney, who they acquired through the Carlson trade, may end up as the second-line center. That's a little callback to my first video there. Tampa Bay Lightning, Nikita Kucherov came out of the game today against the Florida Panthers with a lower body injury. Don't worry, it's not serious. It was just a precaution. That's all we know right now. In Seattle, the arena plan has been approved by the city. So a $700 million renovation will be commenced in November, I believe, with private funds. If you're a Calgary fan, I'd be just... Now, the Seattle team should be approved by January. It's when they are approved. It's pretty much foregone conclusion. The start of their season will most likely come in the 2020-21 season. I'm hoping for the Kraken. I like that name. I like to hear what you want to hear them called. I know they trademarked about 12 names, that being one of them. I mean, as a nickname, the Crack, it doesn't sound good for a number of reasons, but I think the jerseys could look pretty cool. We'll see. In other news, the Vegas Golden Knights ink Shea Theodore to a 7-year average annual value of $5.2 million per. He's 23 years old. He had 29 points in the regular season, 10 in 20 playoff games. This is good news, especially because their other first-line defenseman, Schmidt, is suspended for the first 20 games of the season because of the dope testing, or the doping found in his blood, excuse me. Got a little bit of gas. The Flyers, the Philadelphia Flyers have a new mascot, Gritty. Have you ever seen the Muppets? Do you remember Animal, the one who plays or beats the drums, plays the drums? If Animal were to go into a rehab, that's what he would probably look like. Gritty. Take a look. Yeah. Chicago goalie Corey Crawford is doubtful for the beginning of the season. And it looks like Cam Ward is going to start. I don't know. I don't know what to say about for Chicago fans there. You're probably nervous about this whole goalie thing because if Crawford's not there, I definitely don't see them making the playoffs. Next, this isn't really news, but McDavid was in GQ magazine. Some pictures were up on the Score, and you ever have that those high school pictures where there's always a few friends or students who people just don't know how to smile, or it's just not that he's a bad smiler. He can smile. He's a great smiler. Is this maybe it's the poses or something? It's just awkward. Yeah. And games for today on September 25th, we got the Columbus Blue Jackets versus the Buffalo Sabres, the Florida Panthers versus Tampa Bay Lightning, Carolina Hurricanes versus the Nashville Predators, the Washington Capitals versus the St. Louis Blues, the Detroit Red Wings versus the Chicago Blackhawks, the San Jose Sharks versus the Calgary Flames, and the Vancouver Canucks versus the Oil of Edmonton. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinion on today's news. If you liked the video, please hit that like button. If you really liked it, just stab that subscribe button. And if you know any hockey geek friends or people, please don't feel shy about sharing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.